Namaste and welcome. It's Rishi here from meditatewithrishi.com, and today is Hanuman Jayanti, which is the birth anniversary of Lord Hanuman. So he's one of my favorites. How could I not do a video? So this video, very simply, is for anyone that wants to really understand the essence of who is Hanuman and how can we bring his energy into our life, okay? And Hanuman, as you very well may know, is a Chiranjeevi, which means that he is one of the immortal beings that is said to live here with us on earth until the end of this age. So one of the questions that people often have is, is he alive? Where is he? How can we find him? So we're going to answer that, okay? So we're going to answer 3 questions in today's video. Number 1, who is Hanuman? Okay. Number 2, is he still alive? And number 3, how can you tap into his energy? How can you bring his energy, his blessings into your life? Okay. So let us begin. Question number 1, who is Hanuman? Now, look, if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you already know who Hanuman is from the Ramayana, from the pantheon of Hindu gods, okay? But I want to take a deeper dive into the essence and the symbolism of Hanuman. So one thing that is very clear, very certain, is that he is a being who has reached the highest goal, okay? The highest goal being enlightenment, realization of your true nature as divinity, communion with God, whatever you want to call it, however you want to phrase it. He has achieved this, okay? And this is how he lives, in constant communion with Ram. And there is a really cool story that illustrates this fact from the Ramayana. So when they came back from Lanka after defeating Ravan, the story goes that Sita was so happy, naturally with Lord Hanuman, and she told him that, what you've done for me, how can I even repay it? What can I give you? And he says, as you would expect, he says, nothing. I don't want anything. I already have everything I have, which is the 2 of you. And Ram and Sita, and she says no. So the first thing she does is she gives him a pearl necklace, okay? And he takes this necklace and he starts really analyzing it, and then he starts biting into the pearl beads and breaking them, and slowly the necklace is breaking and falling on the floor, and everyone around is like, what are you doing? Sita asks him, what are you doing? Why are you breaking the necklace? And he says to her that as much as I love it, that it's a gift from you, I'm trying to look for Ram inside this necklace, because I don't keep anything that is devoid of Ram, right? That's his devotion. And somebody who's sitting there says to him, well, you are carrying your body around, right? So where is Ram in your body? And he says, no worries, I will show you, okay? And he tears open his chest, and in the middle, everyone can see very clearly the image of Ram and Sita. And, he shows them literally, God is within me. I live in constant communion with God. And this is the type of being he is, okay? So that's one aspect, he's a being of pure love who has reached the highest goal and is always in communion, in devotion, in surrender to Ram, which is God, okay? But another aspect, one which I love a lot, and I don't think many people think of it this way, is that from a meditation and yoga perspective, Hanuman is the highest yogi, the ultimate yogi. Why? Think of it like this. So in the Gita, Lord Krishna gives us the 4 main yogas, right? So the first one is Bhakti Yoga, which is the yoga of love. And we very well know that nobody can love God like Hanuman loves Ram. Ultimate. The second one is Karma Yoga, the yoga of action or the yoga of service. Again, nobody can serve like Hanuman serves. The third one is Gyan Yoga, or the yoga of wisdom and knowledge. And even in this, Hanuman, the wisdom that we are seeking is the wisdom of our true nature, what is within, that we are divine. And he knows, when Ram asked him that, who am I to you? And he said to Ram that, when I look very closely, I know that you are within me. I know that you are me. So he has this wisdom. Again, perfect Gyan Yogi. And the fourth one, Raja Yoga, which is the path of meditation. And this is just my spin on it, but in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which is the text for Raja Yoga, he very clearly says that on this path of meditation, you will, on the path, you will basically attain powers, yogic powers, siddhis. And we know very well that Hanuman he has attained perfection, mastery in all the siddhis. You see them in the Ramayana, the power of becoming invisible, the power of becoming big or small at will. These are not fiction. Read the Yoga Sutras. Patanjali, in the 4th chapter, he explains very clearly how somebody can attain these siddhis through meditation, So they sound like fiction, but yogic powers do not come from fiction. In fact, I would go as far as saying that fiction comes from yogic powers. Okay, these things are, whether we want to believe them or not, they are real. So Hanuman has attained mastery in all of this. He is the ultimate yogi, the yogi of yogis, somebody that we should, aspire to be like. Okay, so this is my take on, who is Hanuman. And last but not least, he is a being of pure love. When we hear the name Hanuman, when we see his picture, immediately our heart is filled with love. He has the power to take you to the deepest part of your heart, to take you to the divinity that resides within you. Okay, so this is Hanuman in a nutshell. So now we answer the second question, which is Hanuman still alive? And the scriptures, right, or Hindu mythology tells us that he is one of the 7 or 8 immortal beings that will be here with us till the end of this age, or Kali Yuga. Okay, and there are so many videos on YouTube that show sightings of Hanuman and this and that, and that you can believe that if you want or not, it doesn't matter. But to answer this question, that is he alive? I want to rephrase the question and ask the question, is he alive in you? Because that is all that matters. It doesn't matter whether there is a physical body, of him somewhere on this earth. Why does that matter? What difference does it make to you or me? Nothing. What matters is he alive in us? Is he? Can we be blessed by his energy? Can we bring it into our life to do good and be good, right? So that's the real question. Is he alive in you? And this is where, we need to take a closer look at ourselves. Are we living in total devotion to God or the universe? Then he is alive in us. Are we living in total surrender to the universe, total surrender to God? Then he is alive in us. Are we living for a higher purpose? Are we living to serve instead of just, pleasing our own senses? Are we living for something higher, to serve and to give and to, improve the well-being of those around us? Then he is alive in us, right? So that's all that matters. That is all that matters, okay? But I know that many of you will be interested in, how can we tap into his energy? How can we be blessed and receive the blessings of Lord Hanuman, right? And this is something, make sure you watch till the end of this video, is the most important thing. How can we essentially benefit from the ultimate being and energy that is Hanuman, right? So this is my take on it, okay? So first of all, let's be very clear on one thing. We do not tap into Hanuman's energy. We do not use Hanuman or work with him, right? It is Hanuman that taps into your energy, that works through you or uses you, essentially, okay? And what does this mean, right? So it is said that wherever the work of God is being done, like the work of Ram was being done, right? Hanuman is present there, okay? Another example is from the Mahabharata, right? You know that Arjun, before he went into battle, you know, he asked Lord Hanuman for his presence and his protection. So you see there, in any picture, you see there's Lord Krishna, there is Arjun, and on the chariot, there is a flag of Lord Hanuman. So Lord Hanuman is there to protect the chariot, that no matter what happens, nothing will happen to that chariot. And then after the battle is won, it just dissolves into into a million pieces, right? That is the protection of Hanuman. So wherever God's work is being done, Hanuman is present there. So that simply means that if we are doing work with good intention in our life, then Hanuman will be present there, right? If we are trying to help somebody, if we are doing anything with a pure good intention, with no selfish motive, then Hanuman is present there, okay? But what about, you know, praying, or how can I finish this video without speaking about the Hanuman Chalisa, right? The Hanuman Chalisa, I don't need to tell you what it is, right? At one point it was, I believe, the most listened to or searched song on YouTube. Imagine that. That shows the power of of Lord Hanuman and how much people believe in him, right? So I want to speak a bit about that, because that is really important, right? So how can we bring his energy and his blessings into our life, okay? And I want to do this not in a kind of blind belief kind of way, but really help you understand the essence or why it actually works, okay? So think about it like this, right? The Hanuman Chalisa is said to be really powerful. You know, in there are so many verses which say that, you know, if you read this, if you listen to this, it will ward off all ghosts, ward off all evil, all these things. But yet we find that it doesn't happen, right? Why doesn't it happen? And my take, sometimes it doesn't happen, right? A lot of the times it does, right? But if it's not happening for you, then why could this be? And my take on this is that there is this thing that we keep the photo of Lord Hanuman, you know, we play the Hanuman Chalisa and we just let it play in a house, and it's bringing positive energy. And yes, that is good, but it is not enough. It is not enough. We must immerse ourselves in it when you're listening to the Hanuman Chalisa, okay? So, simple example. If you are really listening, if you are really listening, okay? I'm not just talking about playing it and listening to it, you know, listening to the music. I'm talking about every line by line, and understanding the meaning of it. You know, you put on your earphones, you sit down and you listen. If you don't know the meaning, get a book with an English translation, or Google it on your phone. An English translation is easily available. Line by line, understand the meaning of what is being said. When you immerse yourself like this, what will happen is tears will come into your eyes naturally, because you're filled with love and you're filled with admiration for him. Your hair, I'm getting goosebumps right now, the hair on your on your arms will stand up. You'll get a chill down your spine. You will feel immense love and immense joy and immense faith when you listen to it in this way. Your entire biology will change. And when the entire biology changes, then any disease, any negative energy that is inside the body can be eradicated. This is what it means, you know. This is what the verses, you know, Nase roga hare sabpira, japat nirantara hanumat bira. That when a devotee chants the name of but it needs to be chanted with complete faith, complete devotion, and being immersed in it. You know, in the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali says that when you master concentration, then you are able to concentrate upon anything. And it is said that when you concentrate, when you meditate upon anything for a prolonged period, its true nature will be revealed to you. This is how a scientist, you know, can discover the law of gravity, a law of the universe, right? What is happening here? How is it working, right? Or the creation of electricity. Any scientist that has done anything is by intense, it's called samyama, which is concentration, meditation, samadhi on that object, okay? And it's said in the Yoga Sutras, this line is there, that by samyama on an elephant or a similar animal, its strength can be obtained. So imagine by doing samyama, by doing meditation, intense concentration on Lord Hanuman, what will become of you? You will not only get strength, but you will, you know, this is how you can go from being man to Superman, essentially. And all good qualities, because when you think of him, no bad qualities are going to come with you, right? It's really, really powerful. But this is why I urge people to not just, you know, play it in the background and carry on with your household chores. That's useless. Okay, it has some good effect, but nothing close to what is possible. Really sit down and immerse yourself in it. This is what true meditation is. You have to become the Hanuman Chalisa. You have to become Hanuman. And then the question of is he alive is irrelevant, because he is alive in you, okay? So that is it. I really hope this video was enjoyable and you know, you used some of this information. That is it. Thank you very much for listening. Namaste.